Hello everybody, welcome back to the breakdown. I'm Tone. Fantastic to have you watching another video of mine. Again, sorry for what seems to be constant delays when I want to do another video, but I'm going to get to the point of why that is. I'm sure that current events are affecting you out there also, especially if you are in Australia and you're watching this video. Things have gotten very interesting in the last year, and it's all after we were told that we would not get interest rate rises until 2024. We are heading towards the middle of 2023, and we have, since he said that, Philip Lowe, we've had 11, count them, 11 rate rises. We are now sitting at 3.85% cash rate, up from 0.1 a year ago. And we were told about 6 or 7 months before they started raising rates that we wouldn't see rate rises until 2024. And if you follow this channel, you will know that in October of 2021, I said exactly that. We would see rate rises well and truly before 2024. Of course, all the experts weren't saying that. And today, we've had yet another rise. And pretty much every economist leading up to this one was saying we wouldn't see another one yet because we had a pause last month. And it would normally take a few months after a pause to see if we saw a result from that pause and see a bit of a result of what the previous 10 interest rate rises was doing to the economy. But you see, where they've got stuck and where many get stuck is believing that this rate rise cycle we've got has anything at all to do with actual inflation and everything to do with an attack on the middle class. It really is. It's going to continue moving forward. We're going to see more interest rate rises. Now, I can't remember exactly whether or not I did put it on one of my videos, but I did have a prediction within myself that we could see 4.5%. And, we're well and truly on the way to that. I may or I may not have shared that in a previous video. Anyway, we're well and truly on track for that. Now, it's frustrating because I saw it coming, and there's only so much one can do to weather a storm, even when we can see it coming. I put in the preparations that I could. I'm doing the best that I can, but that does puts me with limited time to do the videos like I was doing last year. I was on here doing plenty of videos. My real money series, that's been put on hold because I'm out earning a crust. Now, I'm by no means falling underneath the wave that is these interest rate rises, but it is affecting me. And my heart goes out to everybody who is being very adversely affected by it. And if you want to point anger and be angry at anybody, Philip Lowe and the rest of the RBA, point your finger at them and those above them. But it's no accident what we're seeing here. At the moment, as I understand it, we are currently now at the second fastest ever increase in interest rates in any cycle. I think we're currently the second fastest. And I reckon we're well and truly on target to surpassing that previous record, which I can't off the top of my head remember. But we're well on the way towards that. Maybe the record one possibly was between 2001 and 2008, sort of leading up to the financial crisis, which in hindsight may have been part of the trigger for it. Anyway, what have we seen in the last month? We've seen a continuation in the price of gold going up, the price of silver going up. Platinum's taken a huge rocket to the moon. It's headed up. And still, I reckon platinum's still got a long way to go yet to really realise where it should have been all along. But they use the fibs and the lies to say, oh, but it's an industrial metal, so blah, blah, blah. They use that for silver too, but silver's gone from $30 to a high of almost $39. Then it's collapsed down to 36 something. And just before I started this video, it spiked from 36.50-ish to 37.50 in a space of minutes, really. The money markets, the commodity markets, the story that's going on about what inflation looks like and how much it really is and everything, it's all a farce. It's all manipulated, and they've got pretty much everybody who's not in the know by the whatever you want to say. It's actually more than it's faster than what I thought it was going to happen. And they're not mucking around. They're not messing around. Now, economists get on the radio and they say, or on the news, and they say, oh, the RBA really should have done this and they really should have done that. Well, the RBA don't care. They don't care what economists say and what I say and what anyone else says. They've got an agenda and they are fully implementing it. Now, last month's pause seems to me like a tease more than anything. Just enough, maybe, to trick a few extra people into doing something, I don't know what. There was a reason for it. And there's a reason why they followed it up with yet another rise. And this idea that Philip Lowe is under investigation or that he might be removed from his position or whatever, just, it's all rubbish. Like, it really is. And the majority of people don't get it. The majority of people miss it. They miss the cues that were leading up to it. And now, hardly anyone's probably going to be looking at how to mitigate what they're in amongst right now, or even look into what happened before and try to learn for next time or anything like that, because they are working tooth and nail, hand over fist, just to try and pay for the increases in their mortgages. My mortgage is more than easily enough managed, even with this increase in interest rates. But people out there have got $300, $400, $500, $1 million mortgages. And they were paying 2% on interest rates. Now they're paying 6 or 6.5%. And it's not an accident. And we get told that this is how the system works. This is how it works. What's actually happening, and I've said this before, but I'll just reiterate. What's happening right now is all of the stimulus cash that went into the economy so that things wouldn't fall over while they were pushing a different agenda is now being sucked out and sucked up the chain back into the banking sector, thus legitimizing that new printed currency, but not allowing any of it really, or much of it, to stay within the system down low enough with those that it was given to initially so that they would be compliant for the previous agenda. Now we've moved to the next agenda, which is just suck the economy dry. That's what's happening. Now, I can't confirm this, but whispers, talk behind, talk behind the scenes and that sort of thing about something coming in July where, and this is highly probable. Again, when we hear little things in the background, what they're pushing in the mass media right in your face is likely the stuff that you need to ignore. Look at what's happening in the US right now. Hello to you in the US if you are watching this video. Bank collapses are occurring. The biggest yet, and I can't remember the name of it, but look, maybe I mentioned it in my previous video for the other ones, but we've got another banking collapse over there, which has been bought up, and it's been bought up using taxpayers' dollars over there. It's the US dollar is in trouble, all by design, but it's in trouble, and a move towards a shift in global currency, the global reserve currency, is coming. Now, as I said, I can't confirm this. I'm not going to be surprised if it does occur. I can't confirm it, so I'm not. I'm simply sharing what I've heard, and that is that there will be that type of shift, which could be quite sudden, and it's highly probable it could occur this year as early as July, just a couple of months away. Now, if it doesn't occur, it doesn't mean that it's not going to occur soon enough. But as I said, I've just heard rumblings about this being not that far away. And when I see banking collapses, when I see the pressure in relative terms, when I see the pressure on the US dollar, when I understand that both China and Russia are actively reducing their exposure to the US dollar and are increasing their trade outside of the US dollar using, well, as I understand it, using the yuan as a primary currency, obviously being the Chinese currency, it just shows where we're heading. Now, that's the macro picture. But the macro picture is not really visible or easily understood by most because they are looking at they're stuck within their microcosm. They're looking at the micro issues of just trying to make ends meet and just trying to have enough to continue to service mortgages, pay rent if they're paying rent, and pay all of the bills. Huge increases in the cost for everything. And all the while everyone is distracted by trying to get enough to eat, figuratively speaking, they miss the fact that the key to unlock knowledge and to actually actively get out of that matrix, so to speak, is right there in front of them or right there to the side of them, but they are distracted by trying to just make ends meet. Now, I'm stuck in two here because I see the key, but I am over here still doing my bit to get prepared. Now, that's just what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to share the key with you so that you understand the things that are coming. The agenda behind all of what's going on is much, much bigger, much more powerful. It's sinister as, and it's going to affect more than I can even fathom. But those that are preparing somewhat and have been preparing for the last couple of years, I've been talking about this on this channel. We are going to be the best off when everything hits the fan. Those that have got absolutely no clue, well, look, they've got a rude awakening on the way. So I want to keep this video short, but I'm just sharing this because none of this actually should be a surprise. But it's a big surprise to many, to most. And even if you did try to talk to them about it, they wouldn't really be able to make heads or tails of it. They just go, everything's going up in price at an exponential rate. I don't know. My wages aren't going up. It's a huge squeeze on what I can use for discretional spending. I'm seeing an effect on what I do for my day job. I am seeing some effect on that from what's going on in the macro in our country. So, oh mate, if you haven't been heeding my warnings and putting some currency into real money months ago, it's still worth doing now. But you know, with silver in particular going from $30 an ounce up to almost $40, you got a 33% increase since the start of the year. Well, you're obviously going to get less for your currency, but if it can do that with just the little bit that we know now at the moment, imagine what it could do if things really do go pear-shaped. Now, I'm not sure if you are aware of this, but I believe, again, it goes with the rumblings about what I heard about the shift in world currency. Daniel Andrews, our Victorian Premier, went over to China. He didn't take any Australian media with him, and he had meetings over there. I believe, hearsay, okay? I believe, not verified, can't verify it. I believe he was being briefed to be prepared for the shift. That's what I believe. So, because he's got strong ties over there, doesn't he? So I believe that that's what was happening. What that looks like and what everything looks like in a couple of months, couldn't tell you yet. As soon as I feel like I do know something and can verify anything, I will share it here, provided it doesn't get taken down like other videos have in the past. In fact, I did have a video taken down where I said if you wanted to see the real truth in something, you want to cut your spending. Well, now the agenda is flipped, and they're actively trying to cut how much you can spend or how much you get for how much you spend. So perhaps the time during then was the real time to be spending and getting ready for the inflation. They run the show, they write the rules, and that's just how it is. Anyway, I hope that this has been helpful to you. I really want all of you to be able to be awake to this stuff so that it doesn't take you down. But my bit is done. I've shared it with you, and the rest is up to you, whether you act on it, whether you do your own research and find out whether I'm just full of it or whether there's something to what I'm saying, and whether you share this video with other people who you might think actually might get something out of it. That's all on you. I've done my bit, so we'll leave it at that. And until next time, I'll see you in the next videos. Please take care, and God bless.